Hey there, so today we have another review and I just did beer talk and the beer didn't actually pour out as I would have liked it. I poured it pretty hard, but didn't really last that foam on there. Very curious. Part of it could be the glass. I'm not quite sure, but I mean, obviously it's a take you, so it's not a tall, skinny glass, and you can see the picture of what they recommend how you pour that beer. Didn't get the quite moosey head, but you know, released a lot of carb on it. Grassy for days. I mean, I've reviewed this one already, but it's really nice. It's grassy, all that Pilsner malt. Just smells a little floral, just look light and pretty. That's a slow pour Pils. So, releasing a lot of the carb off the beer, it's actually, you know, perceivably a little flat. There's a nice, a little bit of like that really pretty, kind of like almost lightly mentholy, but like green bitterness on the back end. It's grassy, a little bit mentholy. It's quite nice. It's a little bit chilling. The beer is soft for all though. And then it's just like smooth. I mean, it's just such a useless word. Like people literally walk up to the brewery and say like, I want a smooth beer. But the smooth thing I say about it, like compared to other craft Pilsners, there's very little edges. Everything's like really nice and toned down and pretty. You know, like you can mold a piece of clay, you can make it like, you know, nice and sharp, and where you see like, you know, it's a roller coaster, right? Always my experience with beer is like roller coasters or like sling graphs, like, you know, things move on the palate. And it seems like everything's just like, you know, pushed down a little bit. It's nice and like, not in the sense that it's muted, but that's what a lot of these great lagers do. They really lean a little bit more towards barley water. It really tastes like barley tea. This one a little bit less so because there's so much hoppiness in here. It is still a Pilsner. And so the upfront thing is like, the really water forward character. It really very much tastes like, you know, it almost, you know what, that's what it will tastes a little bit like. It almost tastes a little bit like NA beer. It's so soft and pretty that like the barley just like wraps around there, like just quite gently, because that's what, you know, NA beer can do. And then it has that hop bitterness driving in the back end. A little bit, again, I call it almost like mentholy, a little bit green. It's got this like light minty thing, like, but not like toothbrush mint. It's like, I forget which one. Spearmints. Yeah, there's different mints. It's not like, you know, mint chocolate chip. It's that really subtle, nice, kind of pretty mint that's like savory and culinary, which is a pretty beer. I mean, it's one of the beers that like you just like sit down and forget about, and like, you know, a few lagers I can remember sort of like drink like this. There's just so soft edges like throughout the entire thread of this beer. Reminds me of Suarez, reminds me of Hill Farmstead. These are not shocking beers. These are just like sitting and drinking beers, but this one's actually surprisingly hoppy. It comes out quite hoppy to me, so I really do enjoy it. So fantastic stuff. You're the Pilsner. This beer for me gets a 90. It's not impression beer, but you know, I want this all the time. So 98. 98, 98, 98. Bierstadt Lagerhaus. This is Slow Pour Pils. Thank you so much, by the way, to Chris Crow. He is a fellow certified Cicerone. He is helping us in our tests or classes to get advanced Cicerone. So he sent this one out as an extra. Thanks so much. Cheers. Later.